This is the moment I found my violin. This is my violin, and it has quite an interesting story. Back in 2008, I was in a shop called Oxfam, which is in Oxford, and they're all around the UK. It's a charity for Oxfordshire, for famine relief, and they have charity shops where people give away clothes and all books and things, and you can buy them, and the money goes to the charity. And in the shop in Oxford, downstairs, they have a room full of vinyl and CDs. So I was browsing the vinyl, and in the corner, I saw this sort of dusty violin case, and I opened it up, and inside was this. It didn't have a bridge or strings, and it looked a little beaten up, but it had this beautiful scroll, which I don't know if you can see. It's a lion's head with a little tongue sticking out, and it's from the 1800s, and it was priced at £5.99, which is probably $8 or $9. But this violin has had a very interesting journey since I met it. I took it to Bruno Guastalla, who's a wonderful violin maker and now also a dear friend in Oxford. He has a shop, Oxford Violins. And I took the violin to him and asked, could it be repaired? And he said it needed some work. It was, I forget the exact amount, maybe £100 or £200 to repair, which at the time I didn't have. So I took it back with me unrepaired to New York, where I was living at the time. I got a message from Bruno via MySpace, and he had heard my music and offered to exchange repairing the violin for composition lessons. So I said, of course, I'd be delighted to do that. So next time I was back, I left the violin with him, and I enjoyed getting to know him and his music, and we relayed with that. And then when I had my beautifully restored violin back in New York, I wanted to learn to play it. So a dear friend of mine, Cornelius Duffalo, I reached out to him and asked if he would consider exchanging violin lessons for me writing a piece for him. So I wrote a piece called Blue Hour for him and his wife, Amy Kaufman, actually, a piece for 2 violins. And I had some violin lessons. And that ended up becoming a suite of 7 pieces called The Violin, which we recorded with engineer Jody Elf. And we released that on Via Records back in 2012. So this is an example of sort of currency for musicians where there's no money.